People, welcome to a new segment of my channel, the Shameless Show. When there's stuff I want to be shameless about, F it, I'm going to do it. I know I'm quite balanced in my opinions and I still maintain that, but diversity. The first thing I'm going to say is I'm very balanced. I'm a fan of football first, Arsenal second. But I must admit, I don't want to do this woe is me thing because every fan, every player of every football club, they all think the world's against them. Arsenal fans are no different. Make no mistake. I know Arsenal fans are very different and quite bewildering at times. When it comes to social media, Arsenal fans are the reason that many of these publications and YouTube channels are actually simply put in business. We haven't quite mastered the art of detachment and letting people chat. They didn't, at first there was a power shift in North London. No one could see what Mikel Arteta was doing. We're wasting money. 1 minute Mikel Arteta is copying Pep, then he's copying Tony Pulis, then he's copying Jose Mourinho. When we're trying to play saucy football, they say we've only got one plan, and then when we try and change it up, because when we tried to go gunshot for gunshot with Manchester City, they've dealt with us, and we be a bit more stubborn to be broken down. People have an issue, and people say we're not entertaining, we're not moving. I don't give a flying fuck. If you don't support Arsenal Football Club, if you're not emotionally invested to Arsenal Football Club, who cares about rivals' opinions, especially rivals? Who gives a crap? You think many of them, if you're not City, arguably Liverpool, they would trade places and do what Arsenal was doing. I don't care what trophies they've won or not. And for Manchester City, one thing I hate is the celebration police. When we equalised against Bournemouth, granted, it's not quite the same. People had something to say. Manchester City fans are allowed to celebrate a last-minute equaliser against Arsenal after failing to break them down. Likewise, Arsenal fans are allowed to be unhappy because we were leading and we were a bit deflated when the goal came in the 90th minute. But likewise, 10 men at the Etihad, a ground that we still ain't won at in God knows however many years. Got a point, we move, it goes on. Now, I can't say Manchester City and Arsenal's a rivalry because they're big dogs. It's like, I love Jamaica, but it's like, we're Jamaica, they're Russia. They've got different kind of GDPs over there and things like that. But the players and the team or the boys that got bullied are now trying to do the bullying. We're standing up to people. We've been getting bullied. You've been taking our lunch money. We've been busting push-ups, going martial arts, and we're like, yeah, if you want to do this, let's do this. Haaland, behave yourself, man. Behave yourself. This sort of attitude, you're a fantastic player, but it's this sort of attitude is why you got kicked out of a nightclub in Norway, and you're picking on the wrong, you're pricking on the wrong former Premier League midfielder. Mikel Arteta, all he does is suck City off, pardon my French, and give you your praises and your flowers and your respect. You talking about be humble. Stop trying to bully the former manager. Stop trying to bully Lewis Skelly and go and ride out for your dad. That's the former midfielder you need to go to, because last time I checked, Roy Keane is still doing the punditry thing and living. I know you lot listening, and myself, if one of my family members got touched, I'm doing something in it. You ain't done that in Haaland. Don't want it folding. You're not really involved, but you have to catch it straight. You didn't back your mum. You could never back the beef. Akanji, you're going to be the reason Manchester City are found guilty in court. There's 115 charges. They're probably going to bust all of them, but the one that they're going to get done for is probably giving you drugs. Don't act brand new. You see, when people that are the bottom of society and they act a certain way, they get a bit of money and they act fugazi. That's exactly what Akanji's doing. Remember when you used to have to eat bread with no toes? Now you're at City eating caviar. Part of them. Behave yourself. Because I ain't even heard Diaz or formerly Laporte and them kind of centre backs there, even Ake talking. Why are you talking? You're used to sitting on the back foot. When the minute that City thing is done, you're done out here. Don't act brand new because you got new hairstyle and whatnot. Learn how to defend. And over this, they struggled to break us, that we couldn't break them down. They just didn't come to play. Bro, if we go gunshot for gunshot with you lot, we're going to get annihilated. Yes, we have some quality players that can match up with City. And in the last few games, we've been doing our thing. If it became an open game and things, you'll blow us out the water. We can't match you on the ball. We can match you or better you with what we do off it. And likewise, the last 4 games, which again I want to win at the Etihad, and Pep, Lord knows how many times Pep's sides have battered us. But you look at it, the last 3-4 times we played City, we low block, mid block, spot on defensively, take the rhythm out of a game. You've had no answers. Why on God's green earth would Mikel Arteta change things unless something happened? You could argue Pep Guardiola, the magician which he is, needs to find a way of mitigating against that. And let's not act brand new. Let's really not act brand new. You're Manchester City. Every side you come up against is going to be rigid and compact and be difficult to break down. And 99 times out of 100, you've done it. You do that every week. This is why you've won trebles, 100 points, 4 peats, probably going to get a 5th Premier League title in a row. Stop being like little bitches, especially Bernardo Silva. Pull your pants up. You know, I know you've got a daughter and a wife. There must be 3 gal in there because you've all got pussies. Like, what's going on? Put some tampons in it. Stop crying, man. I thought Manchester City is a fantastic club. Big up the fans and whatnot. But last time I checked, this was a football thing. This wasn't gossiping. You don't need to go on Shade Borough or one of them shows because this is moving like the Real Housewives of Manchester. Any player that Manchester City could get a mic in front of, or any player that was willing to talk, you all spoke. To be fair, I don't think stones out of them said anything wrong. You've got Bernardo Silva. Oh, you didn't play like Liverpool. Okay, of course we didn't play like Liverpool, bro. Like, what the hell you talking about? You lot would source us. And again, as for this, you know, dark arts, it's annoying when it happens against you. You love it when it works. City are the kings of dark arts. Just because you're not known as necessarily a defensive side, you take this thing out of games. You surround ref. You waste time, as you should, really and truly. So before you point a finger at someone, likewise, if I point my finger now, there's 3 looking back at me. Look in-house. Look in-house, because when you took the lead, you weren't saying anything. When we started to play football before the red card, you didn't say anything. Of course, we're going to sit back. Just shut the hell up. And as for Arsenal fans, once again, it's like speaking to Arsenal fans, I know it's injustice. I know teams, as you can see on screen at this point, I should have put it in the vid. When other teams do the dark arts things like Newcastle, people are praised. When Arsenal do it, there's an issue. Xhaka has said it. Michael Richards has said it. It comes with the territory, the goalposts move. Forget the media. They don't got to like us. What team that's won anything has ever been liked? City are not liked in the media. Liverpool were not liked. Chelsea were not liked. Wenger was not liked. Alex Ferguson was not liked, you know, and I love it. Whether I can't sit here and say City are rivals, but this is seeing their players lose their head. Little old Arsenal, you know. 20 plus years without a Premier League trophy or anything of significance. You lot serial winners. Us down to 10 men. Us doing the rebuild thing with a manager that's basically a virgin in footballing terms. I hear it. I'd be rattled too if you still couldn't break us down in that game. I proper understand it, and it is what it is, people. And that's why I love it. And I must admit, the more that these things happen, the more I find myself becoming quite tribal, man. The media, they latched on it. They don't care about Arsenal or City. It's engagement. And you're seeing behind the scenes footage, language interpreters, a lot of things in that regards, people. It's crazy. But what I do like is rather than getting battered against Manchester City and the players are saying we're so good, Arteta's doing something crazy, we've got their players doing this, bitching. Apart from a couple of City players isolated to that game, do your talking on the pitch? Because if you did your talking on the pitch, regardless of our low block, you would have annihilated us and you still might have started chatting. It does not make sense, really. So I prefer where we are now. We've got the team that has turned this league into a farmers league, excited with a defender scoring an equalizer, which I'm not criticizing. I'm just looking at it as we've come a long way. We still got a long way to go. This draw, it could feel like a victory for City or Arsenal because we probably thought we might get our arses handed to us, especially when we went down to 10 men. City obviously came back from a losing position. In fact, both teams did. So we've got it all to go for. And I like the fact that for Arsenal, there's probably fire in the bellies. For City, on top of that game and the charges and woe is me and the world against them, it is what it is. I'm not a fan of this holier than thou approach that the world is taking to Arsenal, because when Mikel Arteta was out there crying about time wasting and what Newcastle were doing, people told my man to shut up and find solutions. Now the man's blood clot found that people got an issue. You can't beat them, join them. You know, and for me, I don't know where Arsenal are going to go in this thing, but I think there's gears to go up. I'm not necessarily happy with our general play in the games we played up until this point. There's still injuries. There's still many gears to go up. We can't get excited. And like last season, you could look at the Chelsea and the Spurs games, you know, Chelsea at home, Chelsea away, Spurs at home as to where we drop points. Our top 6 record was near enough faultless. I don't know if we'll remain unbeaten against the top 6, but I'd imagine the top 6 record this season, regardless of how it pans out, wouldn't be the issue. Our problem was respectfully the smaller games. West Ham at home, the 2 against Aston Villa, you know, Newcastle away, the 2 against Fulham away, arguably Arsenal's worst performance of last season. So we can't get too carried away. But if you don't like my football club, if you've got something negative to say, shove it. As for them City players, you lot are serial winners. You lot will win stuff again and again. But as for that game, you lot are serial winners. And I know footballers are bad losers, or great footballers or athletes are bad losers. But honestly, you don't need to shut up, put a sock in it, pull your knickers up, put a tampon in it, especially Bernardo Silva, and just shut the fuck up. Furthermore, anyone connected to City, suck your mum, man. It's simple as that. As I said, it's the Shameless Show. There's no balance. And speaking of Shameless, I know Martinelli was 0017. I said he was a big game player. Last season, he turned up against Liverpool City. Turned up against City and Spurs. To be fair, Spurs not a big team or a big game, but you get the point, people. Either way, we keep it moving, man. So yeah, this is the last I'm going to speak of it, man, because it's just bare chatting. I'm not a fan of this rivalry fetish as well. Like, I've got some Liverpool supporting brethren. Big up Liverpool. I'm not speaking for all of them, but you're just sitting there and behaving like, oh, City fucked us better. Like, what's all this glazing? I don't want to be liked. I don't want Arsenal Football Club to be liked. I don't really care if people like my football club, don't like my football club, love the way we play football. I want Champions Leagues and Prems, and they're a long way away. The Prem is evidently a bit more attainable, but we haven't done it yet. We've been the nearly men. There's been a lot of foreplay and not enough penetration. That's all I care about. That's all that's set in stone. Nobody, I know Arsenal, we do this gentleman thing, touch a class, all of that jazz. Nice guys finish last. Sometimes things have to get ugly before they get clean. Sometimes you have to do ugly things in life to live clean. And that's exactly what we did at the Etihad. That's exactly what we did against Spurs. And again, if I'm honest, in the last 12, 18 months, let's not act like we just rolled up to City at the Etihad and just brought this defensive outlook. This has been years in the making. Obviously, organic defending with the defenders, but it goes from David Raya and to all the way to the front line. It goes into the time wasting, the compactness, etc. The whole ethos around defending and wanting to defend. This ain't brand new. People have been bitching about this for time. Arsenal have been an open book in that regards. So if you knew exactly what Arsenal were going to go with, they want drama and things, as Akanji said. Your cane rolls are shit. You're lucky I don't grow my hair again. I need a haircut, but I'm still more bougie than you. At least my cane rolls were down there. You don't even touch the back of your head. You're not lucky you're at City. I can't wait till you get sold by City. You're a pussy as well. Fair enough. All them other players that have done things, Bernardo Silva, you're actually one of my favorite footballers. I'd love to strangle you because you do too much chatting. But fucking Akanji, I don't care what he's won or done at City. City are doing him a privilege, and no one can tell me Pep ain't giving that man some serious pills. Because credit to Pep Guardiola, I don't forget the Dortmund Akanji, and there's no way that's the same Akanji. The same tablets that Haaland's probably been taking since he came into this world, right out for your dad once again, is the same things he's probably taking. So we move, man. This is the last time I want to touch on City versus Arsenal. Congratulations to City in general for what they've done. They're the envy of the world and that, but your players are doing this. You lot are players that have been there, done it, wore the T-shirt a million times. My players have never done it. There's a bunch of potential. We haven't realized it, and this is how you lot got acting. You're acting more privileged than how Tories act. But yeah, that's all I've got to say. Shameless Show settings, man. Let's go. If you like Arsenal, big up. If you don't like Arsenal, suck your mum. It's as simple as that.
I've been given like